Hi, ladies and gents. I wake up this morning, I log on, and we've got a Demonologist update. And it looks to be a pretty decent one, actually, considering it's only 10 days after the last. I'm quite surprised. So let's go over some of the changes in the most recent 0.3 update. We've got new purchasable tools. Fulu Talisman can be found in the shop. When you read the description of the Fulu Talisman, which I'll show you later, this appears to be an object that makes the ghost more active. So in the past, I thought that was what the ESG was doing, but maybe I was incorrect, and they've now got a new tool for making the ghost more active. I'll talk about that one in a little bit. ESG's been boosted by 10% and now includes voice commands. Manifest and show yourself. That's fantastic. I'm glad about that. I really struggled with the ESG machine. Giving it a boost, that's helpful. And actually giving us commands is even better. A little bit more interactability. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm going to need to give that a try. Findable low notes have been added. Okay, I've played 3 games of this patch so far, and I haven't found any of the low notes mentioned. But yeah, anything like that, knowing a little bit about the maps would be interesting. Flashlight. Toggling has been added, default key F. Okay, fair enough, yeah, that's nice. If you're holding something, you don't have to swap to the flashlight to turn it on or off. Text-based voice command speech recognition has been added, default keybind P. So I gave that a try in one of my games. I'm guessing if you don't have access to a microphone, or maybe you've got some sort of a speech disability, then you're able to type in the commands that we would normally say. Useful, yes, thank you. Single player reward boost has been increased to 1.5. Okay, yeah, good. I felt that the rewards were okay to begin with. I'm not sure why that needed a boost. It is a bit difficult, actually, when you lose all your stuff. You have one bad mission, you lose a ton of stuff. It does take 3 or 4, missions to get that back. So I'm not complaining. It's going to make my life easier, but I'm not 100% sure if I agree with that. New random objectives have been added. This is interesting, and I've had a good play with some of those. I'll talk about them after we go through the patch notes. New character hairstyles and beards. Lovely. Added language support, Arabic, Croatian, Serbian, Spanish. Good. New hidden achievement added. Okay, I don't know what that one is yet. That would be interesting to find out. Blurring on TVs has been reduced. I don't know what I don't know if that means the TVs in game or people that play on TVs had a blurry picture. I don't know about that. Auto collision issue in abandoned house has been fixed. It's not one I came across. Clock setting issue, rewind, reverse, and cyclone has been fixed. Okay, that was something that I had once in one of my games. An issue where the player cannot move after dying on the clock in Cyclone Street has been fixed. Oh, that must suck. Some crash issues have been fixed, always good. Minor text fixes, always good. Bugs addressed with 0.3.1. Okay, so we've had an update already we've had a patch for this update. Flashlight toggle sound keybind is only available for the host. Players connected to the host will no longer hear the toggle sound when using the keybind. Okay. Character walks forward if moving while picking up the note. You can resolve this by pressing your walk key after exiting the note. Arabic and newly added language have display issues. Okay, right. They're missing something here that they haven't mentioned, and I'll tell you about this. As I played my first game, I realized that pressing the J key no longer brings up your journal. It's changed to a tab key. All right, so they've messed about with the keybinds a fair bit. I kind of preferred it on the J key, if I was honest. Not that big of a deal, but I don't at the moment understand why they had to remove it from the J key. Anyway, that's just a minor pet peeve, but I don't see it mentioned on the patch notes. So what we're going to do now is have a quick discussion about the new random objectives that have been added. This caught me out in my first mission, it really did. Let me just talk about this a little bit. Does the screen look familiar to you guys? At the beginning of every mission, it shows you your objectives. Well, this is the Cyclone Street map that I'm in here, and what you might notice is that our optional objectives are different. Have a look at the ones that are listed here. Number 1 is still the same. We've still got use the ectoplasm glass to find the time of the ghost death. That's still the same. But the other 2 are new. Put the dead rats in the boiler, read the lost note. Let me just explain what I think's happening here. They've got a pot of optional objectives, and any time you enter a new map, you'll get a random collection of these objectives. So put the dead rats in the boiler. I've seen that appear as an objective inside of the hospital map. I've also seen it appear inside the abandoned house so far this morning. So they're sharing now the optional objectives across the different maps. Let's talk about the objectives that I've found so far. I'll show you some clips of me running them. Perform ritual on the pentagram. From what I've seen so far, you find a room that's got the pentagram on the floor and then you simply stand inside of it. You might be able to hear a ticking sound like a clock. Sorry, in this video I presumed I had to somehow light the candles around it, but I don't think that's the case. You stand in the middle and let the pentagram turn from black to red, and then it's finished. Collect the salt bags. This is exactly like collecting demonic fingers that we're used to in Abandoned House. You simply run around the house looking for these little glowing bags of salt. They're found in all the usual places, on top of surfaces or just sitting on the floor. There's 3 of them to collect, not 5 as you do the demonic fingers. Very simple, very easy to do. Put the dead rats in the boiler. Similar actually to the previous. You run around finding dead rats. When you find one, you pick it up and you put it in sort of like a cauldron that's located in the ghost's main room. It's okay. It's, again, very similar to demonic fingers. Find the note and read it. Yeah, this is a pretty simple one. I'm not sure whether it appears on every map or whether this will only be on Cyclone Street, because the only time I've had this mission has been on that map, and the note's been about Maria, who we're trying to get entry to her room that's downstairs, and so far I'm not sure that anyone's found a way to actually enter the room. Whether this note's got some new information on that, I don't know. We'll need to have a play. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Run about until you find the note. Feel free to slow this video down if you want to see what it says. Collect the ghost orbs. Quite interesting. There's a very fast moving white balls of something flying through the house. watch what path they're taking, stand in front of them, and just hit the E key to grab them. Quite a fun one. I like that. Very different. That's really all I've got to say about this one. But yeah, I think the developers are headed in the right direction. My only worry is that if any of these objectives require a device, so for example, if they made blowing out the candle one of these objectives, you don't know what these objectives are until you actually start the map, meaning you probably wouldn't bring a candle with you, in which case you wouldn't be able to complete that objective. I'm sure they're taking that into consideration, but yeah, I like it. It's making the maps different, and I think it's a great step. So yeah, thanks very much, devs, and I hope you all enjoy.